It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody? It's another Monday morning. It's the Sports Chasers Podcast, the fourth and short segment. Hey, 30 minutes, we give you the 5 best games of the NFL Sunday or Thursday. I don't think Thursday games was good, but we'll pass on that. Hey, going from left to right on my screen, introduce the crew. Hey, Dan, what's going on, bro? How's it going today?
Everything's good. How's everybody doing?
That's all right. That's all right. Everybody's good, bro. Hey, the angry one, he's here. E, what's going on, my brother?
What's going on? Happy Monday to everybody. Dan, Kev, let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Hey, the first game that's on our tilt here, the Minnesota Vikings defeat the Buffalo Bills 33-30 up in Orchard Park. This was a really good game, I think, in my opinion. I heard a feed back there. Kirk Cousins. Oh no, you good. Eric is in the comments. And I need to cut my phone off. Eric is in the comments on YouTube. Yes, you can get us on YouTube, but let me get to this game here first. Kirk Cousins, he was 30 of 50, 1 TD, he had 2 interceptions. You had also for the Vikings, Justin Jefferson with a crucial 4th down play. And we always talk about these one-handed catches, which I think, in my opinion, everybody does them now, right? Everybody does the one-handed catch now, but if you do the one-handed catch with 4th and a lot to go, and the game was on the line, I thought what he did was just totally phenomenal. Take it away with the Bills and the Vikings game.
Yo, man, let me just say this. I got two names. Kirk played well. Shout out to Dan, because he's been telling us, yo, E, man, the Vikings. I'm like, nah, Kirk. Kurt, your favorite cousin, not my favorite cousin, is going to, resume back to his old ways. But shout out to the Minnesota Vikings. I got 2 names. I got Justin Jefferson, and I got Patrick Peterson, the ex-Arizona Cardinal, man.
That's right.
The performances by these guys, I mean, it was a team performance, but the performances by these 2 guys alone helped manufacture and Dalvin Cook, because they could not stop that man for nothing, for whatever reason. So Buffalo, yeah, they was banged up, but everybody's banged up around this year, and there's no excuses to be up. What was it, 20 at one point?
Yep, 27-10, I think.
And you're at home, 27-10?
I think it was third quarter. I think it was 27-10.
And you lose. And I believe it was with a minute and change left in the third quarter, they went up 27-10. There's no reason why you lose that game at home. I'm sorry. And you gotta know the scenarios, man. You gotta know situations. The guy what Kevin just said about Justin Jefferson on that 4th down play.
Yep.
Why are you going for the interception? Knock the ball down. But everybody wants to be on. And soon y'all can show. I have clips for y'all sooner or later, but yeah, man. To the Minnesota Vikings, man, they deserve to be in. They have to be mentioned now. They got to be who's, in my opinion, for the NFC. You got to put them up there.
Let me jump in there. You're absolutely right. This whole time I kept saying, "Yo, Vikings are 4-1, Vikings are 5-1, Vikings are 6-1, Vikings are 7-1 now." Right? I believe they're 7-1. And yes, like he said, you have to mention the Vikings up there with the Eagles. They're playing great. Hey, they was down and they kept what? They kept running the football. So that's all I got. Dan, what's your take on this game? And I'll give you my take on what the Bills. What's up with the Bills? Go ahead, Dan.
Nah, I was gonna say I'm with you on that. The big three had a big game, and Jefferson went absolutely freaking beast mode. And that dude had the interception. He literally put his hand up between his and ripped the ball out on the way down without letting it hit the ground, which was a huge play. But watching this game, I don't think Josh Allen had that great of a passing game. He was their leading rusher with 84 or 87 yards, I think it was, or 84.
They should have got McCaffrey.
But both of them, like Cousins' QBR was 71.8, his was 78.6. They both had one TD and 2 picks. But I think what changed this game, like I said, they were third quarter, they came out, they scored, they made it 27-10. I believe they kicked off, and because it was only 10 seconds later, Dalvin Cook decided to go 81 yards and just say, see ya. And I think that kind of changed the momentum. But sometimes you don't always have to be good. You have to be lucky. They went for 4th and goal. They got stopped on the half-inch line or whatever it was. And then the next play, they fumbled it in the end zone on the snap.
Yeah, and you can't give a good team like Minnesota those opportunities right there on the goal line. Also, I believe I saw a stat this morning. This is like the 5th game where where the Bills have not scored a second half touchdown. They've just been kicking field goals.
I think it's they're in their head now. Like, they've been losing it. They've been losing these games
since the Miami game. Yes,
yep. And the doubt's creeping in every time. Like, oh shit, here we go.
We can't score. I don't know what that is, and they got a powerful. And I just said something in my breath when I says, "Hey, I don't know what was their thing with the not trying to go after McCaffrey. If they would have got McCaffrey, that would have been. But we'll talk about McCaffrey with another team, the 49ers here in a little bit, man. But hey, shout out to the Vikings, man. Like he said, yo, we have to put them in the conversation, man. Yo, they're second best in the NFC. This period, in my opinion. Let's go to the Sunday 4:25 game. The Packers defeat the Cowboys 31-28. Here's a couple of things I want to notice of this game. He is laughing.
One thing, angry man happy, and the Cowboys losing. Boy, oh boy, what a way to lose. Go ahead, Kev.
Go ahead. Well, I'll set it up for you. So, hey, Aaron Rodgers gets back off the deck. They stop a losing streak here. There's so many things here with the Cowboys on how they lost, and I keep hearing they want to give Dak all the how can I say this? They want to give him all the blame. Nope, I got to give some of this blame to the head coach. The fourth down play in overtime. You don't trust your defense? Punt the ball, man. Punt the ball. And my thing is, why are you putting your quarterback in that position to do that? As you can see, Green Bay was all dialed up to go in to do their thing, and Dak really didn't have no chance on that 4th down play. Go ahead, E, as I get the stats here.
I got one name. He's 6'5", 208 pounds. Was born on May 12th of 1999. From North Dakota State. Anybody want to take a guess on who that is? Exactly. Christian Watson. The Dallas Cowboys know who he is, but I'm pretty sure they watch it film like, what the fuck happened? This guy put on a phenomenal show. Somebody in that receiving corps needed to step up, and it was him yesterday. 3 touchdown catches. He had a total of 14 for a $195. Listen, man, you up 28-14, almost just like Buffalo. You up 28-14, and then all of a sudden, you guys unravel. You are not fit to be in the playoffs playing like that. You have comfortable leads, and you get comfortable, and then you give it up. Shout out to Green Bay. They should have lost this game. But now they, now they got their little mojo back. They're not going to win they're not going to catch Minnesota or anything like that. But now they're playing for pride, and they got another matchup, I believe, with Minnesota coming up. Have they played Minnesota yet? They played Minnesota.
Yeah, I think they did.
So they got one more. I'm sure they're gonna be playing spoiler for the rest of the year. But this was a bad loss in my opinion for the Cowboys, and I couldn't be happier.
Couldn't be happier. A lot of cowboy, a lot of cowboy hate going on. Yeah, that's right. We can't stand on. That's right. Dan, what's your take on this game? And I'll give you some of my stuff here in the game. Go ahead.
As I always say to my buddy that's a Cowboys fan at work, Mr. Preach, give him the old Strahan. How about them Cowboys? They were another team that was up 14 at one point, and then just kissed that lead goodbye. Like Rodgers didn't play out of his mind, but this game he didn't make the mental mistakes and the bad passes. He made
Dan,
good
let me stop
decisions.
you right there. Aaron Rodgers only threw the ball 20 times yesterday.
I know. They ran the shit out of the ball. Why? Because they were getting 5+ yards. Didn't matter if it was Dylan or an Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones went off. He had 138. Dylan had 65, and he only rushed the ball 13 times. So I mean, they were getting 5 yards a clip. Why would you throw the ball? You don't need to. You don't have the receivers. You have the running backs. And if you can make lanes and run the fucking ball. Sorry, DA. That's for you, buddy. But I'm super happy for Watson because I think it was the first game of the season they came out and the first play they went yard and it was right in his hands and he dropped it. And I think, his confidence was a little dinged. But, yesterday I got to watch, a good part of that second half and the overtime. And he was balling. When they needed him, he was making the catches. And, like you said, they ain't catching Minnesota, but if they can get on a little bit of a roll, I mean, the last wild card team's 5-4, and that's San Francisco. So I mean, they're not completely out of it, but they got a long way to go. As for Dallas, I mean, CeeDee Lamb went off. He had 11 for 150, 2 touchdowns. Pollard had 22 rushes, 115 yards. The problem is Dak threw some costly interceptions that cost him 14 points early in that game. But, shout out to Green Bay.
Yeah, shout out to Green Bay. Eric, I think Green Bay, they're not going to catch Minnesota, right? They're 4-6, 10 games. It might be for a wild card. So we'll definitely see. Hopefully they'll play a little bit better. They had a lot of bad losses, but I think, like Dan said, them running the ball. I think a lot of people in this past happy era of football, they want to just throw the ball instead of just running the ball, and conditions weren't favorable last night, little mist in Green Bay. And I think, when it gets to this November, especially in places like Green Bay and Chicago, New York, you have to, run the football. So with that said, let's move on to the next game. There's so much intriguing about this. I wish we could go out, but we can't. The Indianapolis Colts defeat the Las Vegas Raiders 25-20. Jeff Saturday, he's 1-0 as a coach. Boy, oh boy, Jeff Saturday, man. Jeff Saturday, and there's a lot of intriguing with this game. Like I said, we only got 30 minutes. They pick up the first win. The Colts look inspired. Matt Ryan plays. He looks good. He throws the ball. I'll pick up the stats here in a second if anybody else got the stats.
21 of 28, 222 with a ton, no picks, sack one time.
So
38 yards rushing too.
Yes, did you see that?
The old man was gimping down the field.
They said that was like a 5.3 40-yard dash or something like that. But if you hear Jeff Saturday's comments after the game, he said he was just letting his players play, pretty much, I guess, being a CEO, so to speak, letting his defensive coordinator do their thing, the offensive coordinator do their thing, and ultimately he oversees what it is. So those that might have, it's one game. They play the Eagles next week. Let's see if that goes the same way. But with that said, I'll give it to E. What you think about this Colts and Vegas, the Raiders, and I'll tell you what I think about the Raiders.
I'm gonna just say this, man. The Raiders are. I kind of I felt bad for Derek. Post game, anybody that plays sports, you know how that feels when you really well. I'm not there to practice, but I can only take the man for his word. You know, you play, practice well. Anybody that plays football knows what you put your body through, and not get the results that you're seeking week in and week out. They played a very good. D to be in the comments. Did play well. Had lose this game. I mean, it wasn't like it was tied or anything like that. But yo, man, the biggest glaring thing to me for Indianapolis, okay, you got just Saturday. Salute to you, sir. You got your first one. Mr. Taylor. I talked about you last week. You was on the milk cart several weeks, and now all of a sudden the ball 22 times for 147 yards. Where was this at? Where was this at the last 3, 4, 5 weeks? Where was it at? But shout out to Indianapolis. You know, what you do every week is supposed to beat the team that's in front of you, across from you, and they did that. I don't have McDaniels, buddy. You would be on the hot seat anywhere in a CEO, some kind of position to get your ass out of there because you need to go. Something is about you. This team wasn't this bad last, so it's something about you, sir. But shout out to Indianapolis. Shout out to them boys. Shout out to Jeff Saturday. Well played game.
Let me just put it out there. He was talking about his Derek Carr's post game comments. Man, he was very emotional, almost crying. And yeah, if you ever play football on any level, man, it's hard, man. It's really hard, man. You go through all that practice, 2 days, whatever, and to not get the results as he said. And I don't want to, speculate. Was he calling somebody out? Was he calling his teammates out? It sounded like to me, from a place in the side. I could be wrong, but man, the Raiders, man, I just thought they was gonna be better than this. This is not good. No bueno. Dan, what you got on the Raiders, man, and the Colts?
All I can say is shout out to Jeff Saturday. Like you said, his best quality is he's a leader, and he can motivate these people. He can motivate the coaches. He can motivate the players, and it looked like a different team than it was the week before, where you could see the effort was there. You could see that they were playing for the coach. And, Taylor finally, handled his business. Matt Ryan played well. Offensive line must have played well because he got, Taylor. That was their biggest issue, and that's Saturday's probably strongest point too. Is he used to play center? He knows who needs to do what, who needs to block who, and they must have worked on some shit because Taylor went for 147. But
sure, yes,
Devontae, he went off. That was like the only guy in the Raiders that was really doing anything. Jacobs had 78 yards on 21 rushes, but one of them was a 22-yard long run. So really, he was getting like 2 yards a run. So he wasn't really putting them, in front of the sticks where they had third and shorts. But man, you got to feel for the Raiders, and like Josh McDaniel. Couldn't do shit in Denver. We all talked about, this probably the AFC West would probably be one of the best divisions in the league just because of what quarterbacks they got there. And Kansas City's the only really good team in that division. The other three, like Chargers, they won, I think, yesterday, so they're 5-4 now. But
we'll talk about that next. No, they lost. The Chargers lost.
Oh, they lost.
Yeah, yes.
But Denver and Vegas, I mean, Vegas is 2-7.
They suck, dog.
And it's not like we got, what are we, 3-6, and we got a rookie quarterback, and we got like nobody on the offensive line. The only thing we got is receivers and a defense, and our defense hasn't been that good because Watt's been out. But how the hell are they 2-7?
And it was a playoff team last week, and it made you think. I'm sorry, Dan, to cut you off.
Good. You're good.
Okay, but the head coach, the coach that they had last, the interim coach that after Gruden got fired, can't think of his name. It starts with an R. they went to the playoffs. They could have won that game. They could have stopped what's his name from
Burrows.
Yeah, from going. There was a fourth down play from going on. And what has happened from that juncture to now? And I'm going to think it's the coach, Josh McDaniels. No, he's not it. And DA's not here to pick up his point that he always does. He says, but I'll say it for him. All New England coaches that come from under the coaching tree, they don't do very well. And I'm putting it very nicely because DA will put his very spin on it, but that's what I do as the button-up one, right? So, yeah, they're not very good. And it's just, go ahead.
If I interject. Look at the game. If you look at the games that the Raiders have played, getting blown out.
Nope.
Well, except for that dismal
they're leading the game.
What the fuck that was.
Yeah.
First week, they lost by 5 to the Chargers. They lost in overtime to the Cardinals. They lost by 2 to the Titans. They beat the Broncos. Who doesn't beat the Broncos? In U.S. soil. They lost by 1 to the Chiefs. The Texans. We ain't going to talk about things. They lost by 7 to Jacksonville last week, and they lose by 5 yesterday. This is not a bad team. It's not like they're playing bad.
Nope.
They just can't get with the hump for whatever reason. And we've seen this before with certain teams, the Bengals, the Browns, this and that, the third. It's either going to go one or two ways. Either they are going to keep McDaniels and they're going to be somewhat better somehow. Team is going to implode and they're going to get rid of everybody. And I think it's going to be the latter. It's probably time to blow this team.
I would, and those that are watching, that's D-Dub in the comments. D-Dub can't be with us this morning, but he's in the definitely with the comments. Yeah, D, I agree with the Raiders are supposed to be a good team. D, I mean E.
I mean, but so is Denver. Yeah, they all supposed to be good teams, man.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell?
Sometimes don't bounce. They don't bounce. I mean, and I'm not comparing Las Vegas to Denver because Las Vegas has played better than Denver. All I'm saying is, yeah, they were all supposed to be good teams. Well, what happened? Kansas City was supposed to take a step back. What happened? I told y'all they're not going to miss a beat with Tyreek Hill gone. I told y'all that. But I'm sorry.
Yeah, you said yeah. It's just sad, man. And you know, in today's world with athletes, and you know, I won't get into it. But Derek Carr, he freaking cares, man. He wants to win in this day and age of where sometimes you don't see that from the athlete. How much $1 million? Derek Carr wants to win, and you felt that from his press conference last night at the end of the game, man. So I don't know. I know Josh McDaniels got to go, and that's just what it is, man. I'm sorry, he's got to go. Yeah, D, I feel sad for Derek Carr too, man. Let's move on. I'm pretty sure the Raiders fans, they're having a crop fest. Let's move on. The Chargers versus the Niners.
It's supposed to have been great. It's supposed to have been great, but they had 5-4. Sorry, D, but you said this team was going to the bowl. I'm sorry, Cal.
Yeah, I'm going to get
moderated. Superchargers. Yeah. Somebody need to get that turbo intercooler in that engine because it ain't working.
Oh man, D-Dub, I wish he was here to defend your Chargers, man. Yeah, the Chargers went to Santa Clara last night to face the San Francisco Giants, and they wound up coming on the losing end 22-16.
This is not baseball.
Excuse me, did I say the Giants? 49ers. Excuse me, Dad, DA, you ain't here to correct me, dog. Yeah, the 49ers. You know what I'm trying to say, E. 49ers. Hey, and I was saying earlier, the Bills. I don't know what happened where they got outbidded by the Niners for Christian McCaffrey, but this is clearly what the Niners need. And I know if DA was here, I'm not saying it's for Jimmy Garoppolo, DA. I'm just saying for this year and going forward, Christian McCaffrey was a good pickup. You don't have to put look, Garoppolo threw 19 of 28. He had no TDs, no interceptions, didn't get the ball away, 240 yards. McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, great pickup. He was 18 of 89. McCaffrey was 14-38. They ran the ball. Kept the ball out of Herbert's hands. And I'll say this, played a lot of good defense. The Niners defense is for real. I can't think of dude's name. The linebacker, 54. He was just all over the place last night. Yes, Warner. Thank you, E. Fred Warner. Serious, as DA would say. And the Niners have, I think, turned their season. They got, they solidified with the running game, and you run the ball. There you go. The Chargers, I don't know. Their defense is good, but it looks like they can't score either. But E, I'll let you take it away. Yeah, I said Giants, man. Sorry, but you need to talk about the Chargers here, D-Dub, not the Padres either. So get out of here.
I want to hear some excuses, D-Dub.
I don't understand. As much as we sit up here and talk about how you need to run the ball, Austin Eckler, who I think is a fine running back, D-Dub love 6 fucking carries. Herbert 5 carries. 4 carries. 1 carry. What did you go get him for if you only going to have him run the ball 1 fucking time? What are we doing here? And then Justin Herbert, you couldn't 200 yards. You couldn't run the ball, so you at least use the ball, but you couldn't do that either. Yo, man, let me just say this, man. Anybody out there watching that doesn't know, I'm an Arizona Cardinal fan. So I know San Francisco well, okay? And when this team is ready to go, when Garoppolo is not over, when this defense is playing and they're healthy, this is one of the 3, 4, 5 teams in the NFC you have to worry about. And now add in Christian McCaffrey. No, he didn't run for a lot, but just his presence where you can line him up anywhere on the field.
That's right.
Is a problem. And you see the wheels turning for Kyle Shanahan and what he's going to accomplish with this offensive side of this team. But we always said shout out to San Fran, Seattle. You might want to start looking in your rear view because the Niners is coming. And the Chargers, man, I don't. Yeah, I know San Fran on the road is a tough team. It's a tough game. I get it. But you're the Chargers. This is a game that you're supposed to win. I'm sorry. You had to win this game. So.
Dan, go ahead. What's your take on this game?
Well, I saw, the highlights of this one, and it just seemed like, I don't know. You had, San Francisco didn't do anything really super flashy. Like you said, Garoppolo, I thought he played well. He threw for 240, but he didn't turn the ball over. He did score a rushing touchdown. But like you said, McCaffrey didn't do a whole lot. He had 38 yards, but he got in the end zone. Debo only had 4 carries for 27 yards, and he only caught the ball twice. So, it wasn't that, they did anything really special. I just think their defense just basically shut the Chargers down. Was it 9, 10? It looks like they only ran the ball 16 times total, which, like you said, you got Austin Eckler and you're not running the ball at all. Because it's, it's like some of the, Von Miller and some of these guys, with the Bosa's, you can't run away from the guy.
Nope.
Because he's going to run you down. You got to basically run at him and double team him. But, if you don't do that, then what's he doing? 3-point stance, looking at your quarterback and salivating because he knows you're not running the ball, and he disrupted some plays. He didn't actually make the tackler, but he forced Herbert into hurrying or throw when it was dropped or short or whatever. The only thing is the real crazy part about this game was it might have been Warner. I was trying to think of the guy that got thrown out.
No, that was the other dude. That target.
That's Greenlaw.
That stupid talk. That wasn't. That shouldn't have been.
That targeting bullshit.
Yeah, that was trash, dog.
But the thing that was wild about it is, think about it this way. What was the final score of this game?
22-16.
They lost by 6, right?
Yep.
That was at the end of the first half, I believe. That happened.
Correct.
And they had to take him out for the rest of the half and have Chase Daniels or whatever the hell his name is come in at quarterback.
And he threw 2 times and he sucked. It was awful. It just
Like,
didn't.
what happens when you bring the backup in? You run the ball. Nope. This guy's been sitting over there with the ball cap and a clipboard for the last hour and a half. Hey, well, let's go throw some, passes. I was like, and really they were moving the ball.
Yep.
And who knows if they don't make him go sit out, what the deal is with that. But yeah, like, I don't know what that guy's supposed to do when the defensive back hits the guy. He's already in the motion to hit the guy, and then he gets hit and his body moves. It's just like in hockey. You can't predict, like, if somebody gets hit by somebody else, where they're going to be and where you're going to hit them. You can make contact with their head. It's the object moved from where he was going to hit him, and he wasn't trying to hit him with his helmet. He was trying to hit him with the shoulder pad, but his body moves, a foot the other direction. So he ended up clipping him. And I just thought that ridiculous penalty. Like, if you want to call unnecessary roughness, I get that.
Right.
But targeting and throwing him out of the game, that was just dumb.
And if you saw, and we got to go here. If you saw when he was getting tackled, when Herbert was getting tackled, the other player from the Niners kind of pushed. From the Chargers pushed him in a way where he pushed him into the helmet, and I just didn't think it was called for. I put it in the message. I said, "Yo, this is ridiculous to call, man. Hey, we got to go. Last game. The Bucs look like they might have redeemed their season. They defeated the Seattle Seahawks. 21-16, 21-16. Am I reading this right? Help me, somebody read this. How much rushing did the Seahawks have?
I'm gonna tell you,
39 yards.
It's
what it looked like.
No, listen. I looked
that's
at
between the quarterback and one running back.
I looked at multiple sources this morning before coming on the show, because that's what we do. We research stuff, and I was saying that as a rhetorical question, because I was like, nah, this can't be 39 yards. And Dan alluded to, we usually have a little pre-meeting before we come on the show. The field was trash. Players complaining about the traction and they were slipping all over the place. If you happen to watch the game like yesterday morning, 39 yards.
Well,
go ahead.
Well,
go ahead.
White didn't have no issues running the ball. 22 carries, 105 yards, 14 carries, 57 yards. Yo, it's all about effort. It's all about touches, man. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand Pete Carroll. Like, you've been hitting the right X's and O's all this time, and you wait till you play the Buccaneers to start doing shit that you don't normally do. You're known for running the ball and defense, right? Okay, yes, Geno's playing great, but you don't throw Geno against. I mean, I know Tampa Bay has been a step back this year, well, all the way around. One of the better defenses out there. You're playing on a trash turf. You run the ball, trash turf, and that is the equivalent to you running the fucking ball. I don't understand why. Why is Geno Smith your leading rusher? Thank you, D-Dog. Geno Smith, your leading rusher, was telling me about Kenneth Walker. He's a rookie again. Whoa, give him the fucking ball, let him run. What the fuck are we doing here? Come on, man. Hey, man. Look, I don't know what team Giants, Buccaneers, Patriots, it doesn't matter. You build a culture, right? And you foundation, and when against that, I have to look at funny. I have to give you the people's eyebrow. That's what I gotta give you, man. Cause moving different out here. But shout out to the Buccaneers. We knew this was going to happen at some point. The NFC South is absolute trash, and it was just one of these games where Tampa Bay get it back. They got a W in the one column now, and now they're at 500. It's their division to lose, basically. though. That's all I got, man. Shout out to Smith. He still didn't run. He still didn't turn the ball over or anything like that. But I still don't understand why he don't run the ball. Did you go back to the Super Bowl? I forget what number they got. So many damn numbers now. I can't remember. So you gonna go back to Marshawn Lynch days in the Super Bowl where everybody in the stadium and all the social and all across the league should have ran the damn ball. You decided to pass off. You went back to that. Go ahead. I don't know what else.
I'll give it to Dan because we got to get out of it. Dan, get your thoughts on this game real quick.
Well, all I'm going to say is Tom's got his shit out of the way now. That distraction is no longer being talked about. He's now focused on football. That's all he's got right now. But
well,
why the fuck is he running a pass and Fournette throwing the ball to him?
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I was at that. Thank you, Dan. I'll put that on my list.
If you get a chance, look the highlight up because it was like the old guy on was it not The Simpsons but Family Guy, Herbert with the walker going down the sideline. That's about how fast he was going, and then why Fournette threw it to him because he was absolutely fucking covered, and then like I said, the field was shit. So he tries to like turn for the ball, and next thing you know, you can put the sound effects from the cartoon in, whoop, 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 boop, just flat on his back, and boom, they pick it off. I mean, they were moving the ball, and they were going to score again, probably with a field goal at least, and they turned the ball over. So they were very fortunate to get out of there with the dub after.
What was that?
Exactly. That's what I said.
Yeah. I don't.
Why the fuck are you throwing him the football?
What was that? What was that?
That was as bad as Mariota against Panthers on Thursday night when he's going down and does the barrel roll and just he can't see anything because he's looking at the grass and then he's looking at the fucking ceiling or the sky and he just fucking blindly throws it. I mean, what are you doing? Like, that's not how you win games in the NFL. It's a turnover battle. If you don't turn the ball over, you usually win.
Especially in the whatchamacallit. I'm going to do this with no sound, and we're going to get out of here. For those that can't see, I don't know if you can't see it. I can't see it. I'm just gonna not.
And I'm gonna say this to Brady. Brady, you could have really hurt that guy kicking that man like that, trying to trip him up.
Oh well.
And GOAT we trust, but that was some dirty shit right there, my guy.
And GOAT we trust, man. And GOAT we trust. Hey, it's like E said, it's the Buccaneers division to win. Because I don't see nobody else in that division doing anything else, man. But yo, we gotta get out of here. It's 4th and short for a reason. Hey, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin O. Warren, your host and moderator. Dan, the hockey dude. James Eric Warren, the angry one. Hey, Dow D. Dub Warren, thank you for being in the comments. The DA, hey DA, you have not came on here and talked about your Niners on 4th and short for whatever reason you wasn't able to be here, but we'll get it done.
Oh, we got Thursday. Yeah, we got you.
Hey, just a heads up, Wednesday, the new Warzone drops, so Kyler might be out for a couple more weeks.
Nope, not doing it.
As long as we win, Colt knows the offense. Who we got this week? Never mind. We'll say that for Thursday.
But why the fuck did he come out and throw the ball the first 10 passes? They didn't run the ball at all.
Yeah, go ahead. Cut it. Cut it, Kev.
See y'all.
I ain't got nothing for that.
Week later.
Wait, what?